Although Sigma INFJs may give off the impression that they don't care about their surroundings, that doesn't mean they avoid confrontation. They will battle and argue for things they believe are worthwhile, but if not, they will distance themselves from it. 10 strategies a Sigma INFJ uses to handle heated arguments are as follows. 10th point, by putting their mental health first. If the INFJs take care of their mental health, they think they can handle any problem in their social, professional, and romantic lives. A strong mental state is every Sigma INFJ's best ally in overcoming life's challenges. They always seem composed even when everyone else is going crazy because of this. INFJs think that a significant portion of their self-perception is influenced by their mental health. If they weren't in good mental health, they wouldn't be able to handle the criticism, disputes, and prejudice that come with being complex. Similar to how they would quickly break in the face of daily insults from narrow-minded people, they would not be as calm, confident, and comfortable as they are. Put simply, how they view and treat themselves as individuals has an impact on their mental health. 9. They persevere in facing them. They confront and deal with these intense conflicts head-on rather than letting them drag them down. However, how is this even possible? Sigma INFJs are known to be sensitive to stress. They detest conflict, don't they? Sigma INFJs dislike leaving a problem unresolved for an extended period of time, not the issue itself. They are able to handle these disagreements with fortitude because of this. Anything that gets in the way of an INFJ's advancement can terminate. It's not about being unaffected by everything and unfazed by the worst storms of life. Rather, it is about exhibiting increased accountability while managing life's challenges. It's about facing their issues while preserving emotional and mental stability, not about avoiding pain or downplaying their shortcomings. How can a Sigma INFJ become more resilient? 8th, by drawing advancement into their lives. If Sigma INFJs just put their energy and attention toward moving forward, they wouldn't have to waste time on handling heated but pointless dispute. If they were solely interested in bettering themselves or their careers, they wouldn't have the time or energy to deal with these arguments from a jealous coworker or a narrow-minded acquaintance. Sigma INFJs are adept at deflecting their focus from unneeded stress in their lives. They are experts in accelerating progress and eradicating stagnation. However, if they don't take care of themselves, Sigma INFJs can't function or be productive. If they don't meditate first thing in the morning, they won't be able to maintain their motivation and concentration at work. They might keep experiencing outward disagreements and negative behaviors from others until they focus just on what truly matters and ignore everything else. 7th point, they discuss it. Talking things out is the only way to settle disputes and reduce stress, and Sigma INFJs are great at it. They are really good at stating their thoughts regarding the circumstance and then taking it from there. However, this can only happen with the other person's cooperation. This is only possible if all parties to the dispute take part in finding a solution. If not, Sigma INFJs will be less engaged and motivated to find a solution. Acting in a passive-aggressive manner, according to Sigma INFJs, will only make the current mess worse. It will not only cause unpleasant feelings to surface, but it will also make the issue worse. They won't apply the silent treatment until everyone complies because of this. Someone with the emotional intelligence and maturity of a Sigma INFJ knows how to handle disagreement without resorting to deception. How do you, as a Sigma INFJ, find the bravery to bring up the issue and then ignore it? 6th point, they pay close attention before speaking. During arguments, Sigma INFJs are the last to interrupt. Because they want to hear everyone out, whether they agree or disagree. They are the last to interrupt during conflict resolution. To be able to react and interact with others, they must have an understanding of how others think. Thus, listening is beneficial to someone who wants to settle the dispute rather than just win it. For someone like the Sigma INFJ, who is more concerned with getting the answers perfect than just making a point, it is helpful. People will comprehend the causes of the issue if they actively listen to others' points of view. Additionally, they can collaborate to find a real solution once they are aware of the problem's origins. 5. They prepare ahead of time. Sigma INFJs feel it's critical to adopt a mindset that considers what they and others could say in given circumstances. In order to avoid being in the dark when a problem occurs, they always arm themselves with justifications and potential fixes. The Sigma INFJ uses critical thought and inner dialogue as planning techniques to handle strong disputes well. For this reason, when similar confrontations do arise, only the Sigma INFJ can handle the situation coolly and act without becoming upset over dropped milk. When a situation arises at work or at home, they think about how everyone might respond so they can carefully share the facts. How else, as a Sigma INFJ, does being organized in advance help you maintain composure in the face of conflict? Fourth, they imagine themselves in the position of their adversaries. This is a skill only mastered by the Sigma INFJ. They are emotionally detached entities that view the world through the eyes of an outsider. Thus, they don't allow the chaos of the outside world to color their judgment, thinking, or way of thinking. They recognize that just because their peers are doing something doesn't imply it's correct. Thus, they don't let social conventions affect their decisions or way of thinking. Thus, in the event that their adversaries are able to criticize them incessantly, Sigma INFJs will resolve the disagreement by adopting their adversary's point of view and making decisions accordingly. By adopting an adversarial perspective, Sigma INFJs are able to obtain knowledge that is useful in resolving conflicts. They simply make their lives more stressful. They don't add gasoline to the fire. And they always go toward the solution rather than the drama, since they don't think they deserve such needless hardship. Thirdly, they reflect and identify their feelings. Rather than blaming and hurting others, Sigma INFJs take responsibility for their emotions around the disagreement. Regardless of how they see it, they accept responsibility for whatever they go through, since they are a part of the struggle. And solving it is the only way to go through it. It could be challenging to voice their strong opinions, particularly when others are unwilling to work with you. Also, it's difficult for individuals to communicate their feelings when others discount them. Still, Sigma INFJs are more aware. Sigma INFJs examine the feelings evoked in their personal experience when anything occurs. And if they keep seeing how they respond to things inside of themselves, they will have a thorough understanding of what specifically set them off. They can regain mental equilibrium and stop their emotions from taking control of them by paying attention to the reasons behind their actions. Do you, as a Sigma INFJ, also reflect when a dispute arises? Second, their reasoning still holds. Although everyone's feelings have merit, Sigma INFJs don't think that merit necessarily translates into fact. It's not always appropriate for someone to be upset about an experience just because they are upset about it. As a result, Sigma INFJs stand back and return to impartial reasoning. When they become enraged over something, they question themselves. Why am I angry? Is there really anything to be unhappy about? Or is this all just miscommunication? They will then have a deeper understanding of why something occurred. They'll start to defend themselves by saying that they couldn't actively search for solutions if the disagreement hadn't arisen. Consequently, it was decided that the debate was required for improvement. Otherwise, no one would propose the modification. First of all, they observe social signs. Sigma INFJs are sensitive to social cues. They interpret them as useful indicators that could indicate whether or not the conflict falls into their purview and area of influence. When debating significant issues, they pay attention to tone, gestures, and body language because they are intuitive observers. People with emotional intelligence, such as Sigma INFJs, are able to read a room and recognize clues before others do. Sigma INFJs use this method to discern when to strike up a conversation and when to leave others alone. Does this imply, however, that they never consider disputes that are unrelated to them? Being emotionally distant individuals, Sigma INFJs are adept at knowing when to back out of heated arguments. They think that while disagreements could be important for development, they shouldn't be prolonged if they can't be resolved. Do you, like me, as a Sigma INFJ, detest drawing out pointless arguments? How do you pick which fights to fight?